Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Backed by Bone podcast. This is episode 33, and as always, I am your host, Chris, aka Don Burgundy on the internet. What is going on? Hope you guys had a good week and weekend, and hope you enjoyed the Super Bowl. I know I did, and it is currently Monday, and I took the day off. Excuse me. A little bit of water. Took the day off because I knew I was going to want to, and why the fuck not? So I wanted to stay up late, watch the whole Super Bowl, and it was worth it. I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. I'm going to be breaking that down and then going into the usual shit. So let's get right into it. Um, so first off, of course, we're going to talk about the Super Bowl. It was the Kansas City Chiefs against the Philadelphia Eagles. And spoiler alert, if you don't already know, Kansas City won. The final was 38 to 35. The Kansas City Chiefs ended up winning with a field goal in the fourth quarter to put it away. Let's see. Let's take a look at the stats really quickly. Patrick Mahomes, 182 yards and 3 tutties. I don't think he had any rushing touchdowns. Um, he played pretty well. Jalen Hurts played out of his mind with 304 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, and 3 rushing touchdowns, which is pretty crazy how they still lost because he played out of his fucking mind. But um, it's a team sport, so it is what it is. What are you going to do? But I did take notes on the game, so I'm just going to kind of give a breakdown of the notes that I took, and we'll just kind of go from there. Um, so for the first quarter, Eagles get the ball, and then on their opening drive, they end up scoring, and they take a decent amount of time to score. So they kind of wind the clock down a little bit. The Chiefs' defense didn't seem to have an answer to their receiving core. So AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, they just didn't seem to have an answer for them at first. And then on the Chiefs' first possession, they drive it right down the field. Had some good running game and some good catches by Travis Kelce. Let's see. I don't think they scored, unfortunately. And they had to kick it away, I believe. I don't know why these notes are incomplete. And then the second possession, Eagles go 4 and out on their second possession, and the Chiefs defense instantly kind of stepped up after getting crapped on for that first drive. The Chiefs' second possession looked good, but Chiefs' second possession looked good, but they missed a 42-yard field goal. I mean, 42 yards is pretty fucking hard, so I kind of get it. I mean, the kicker kind of redeemed himself at the end, so it doesn't really matter. Um, Eagles' third possession, right after the first period, Jalen airs it out to AJ Brown for a massive touchdown. It was a really sweet catch, a really sweet throw. So, I mean, right when they come out after the first period break, they just absolutely fucking bomb it down the field. I don't know what the yardage was, but it was a nasty catch. You'll probably see that all over Sports Center. Um, what else? And then on the Chiefs' next possession, they go 4 and out on their third possession, unfortunately. So nothing really to see there. First first half, Chiefs were not looking good at all. With the Eagles' fourth possession, they lead. It, on Eagles' fourth possession, Jalen Hurts actually ends up fumbling the ball, but it leads to a fumble recovery touchdown for the Chiefs defense. That was probably the best play that their defense had made at that point in the game. Before that, they were just looking super lackluster. Because they kind of got crapped on in the first possession, but after that they kind of stepped it up incrementally. But their best play was that fumble recovery touchdown, which definitely fucking changed the um, momentum of the game. And then and then on the Eagles' fifth possession, Jalen Hurts runs it in for another touchdown. So that was like him just popping off one of his like 3 rushing touchdowns. The Chiefs' fifth possession, they went 4 and out, and unfortunately, Patrick Mahomes hurts his ankle again. So we kind of thought the game was over at that point, but lo and behold, the NFL is scripted, so of course it's going to come back. In the Eagles' sixth possession, AJ Brown with a good catch and run to put them at the 20-yard line, and then the Eagles settle for a field goal, and then that brings us to halftime. So at the half, the score was it was the Philadelphia Eagles leading um, by 10 points at the half. Um, what else do we have? And then going into the halftime show, I thought it was pretty good on a scale of 1 to 10. I don't know, maybe my expectations were just so high because everyone was hyping up so much, but, on a score of, like, 1 out of 10, I thought it was good. I thought it was maybe, like, a 6. I didn't think it was crazy. I don't know if people are gonna fucking flame me for that, but I think it was like a 6 out of 10. I mean, it was cool, but like they didn't have any special guests. They didn't do anything like super crazy. It was just like a good performance. So that's about it. I guess it might not have gone too crazy because I think Rihanna's pregnant again. So it's like for her to like, you kind of don't want to have her be doing too much crazy shit on stage and potentially hurt herself. And they had like a bunch of like suspended stages and stuff like that, which were already pretty risky. So I kind of get it. Like that part was cool, but the outfits for, like, the background dancers were fucking weird. Her outfits were kinda cool, but still kinda weird. I don't know, it was just, like, a weird thing. I don't know what was going on there, but, the halftime show was interesting, I guess. I mean, nothing super crazy, nothing to write home about. I mean, with a big name like Rihanna, I thought it was gonna be, like, a bigger deal, but I don't know, whatever. But I also forgot like how many fucking bangers she has. Like she has absolutely like a massive discography of bangers, and she hasn't even released an album since 2016. So, um, like every single song that she played at the halftime show, I like knew every single song. I was like, oh shit, well, fuck. I was like, goddamn, like all these, like I forgot. Like I'm like, oh damn, that song's good. And I was like, oh, I forgot about this song. That one's good too. But yeah, they were just all bangers. But take a sip of water. But yeah, other than that, I kind of, I thought it was good. 6 out of 10 though. And then after the halftime here, um, the Chiefs get the ball in the first possession of halftime after halftime because they elected to kick the ball at the beginning of the game. So Chiefs first possession, they drive down the field and make it to the 1 yard line, and then Isaiah Pacheco runs it in for a touchdown. So already the momentum has shifted into the Chiefs' favor. Then for the Eagles' first possession after the half, it almost ended in another fumble recovery, but it was overturned. So they actually Jalen Hurts threw a ball to one of the receivers. I forget who it was. And then he took like 2 steps, and then the ball got knocked out of his hand, and then, somebody recovered it and then ran it in, but apparently they called it as an incomplete pass because he needed to take, like, 3 steps or something. I don't really know how that rule works, um but, it ends up getting overturned, and then after a long possession, the Eagles just settle for a field goal, kind of keeping themselves, like, still within shooting range. Then the Chiefs' second possession, they eat up a lot of the clock, and they end up in a touchdown, putting them up by 1 point. Um, so that was kinda good. That just goes to show, like, Andy Reid's, experience in being, like, a veteran coach and then being a high quality, like, play caller is just, like, eat up as much of the clock as possible, even if it puts you up by 1 point, like, they're just still eating up a lot of time. Um then on the Eagles' second possession, it ends up in a 4 and out, so unfortunately, they kinda got shut down a little bit. Like I said, the Chiefs' defense really started slow, and they just started kinda ramping it up, as much as, like, they could, I guess, and then just still really, like they look like they leveled up, like, throughout the game. Like, each time the defense got out on the field, they look like they just got better and better, so, um would definitely help them out, especially in a high scoring game like this. And then the Chiefs' third possession starts with a kick return that brings them to the 10-yard line. So the Eagles' 4 and out possession, they ended with a punt, and then the Chiefs have a punt return that brings them all the way to the 10-yard line, and then it ends with them getting an easy touchdown. So then the Chiefs are up by 8 at that point, and then the Eagles' third possession, they get a good catch from Devontae Smith that brings them right to the 1 yard line, and then Jalen just runs it in again. For whatever reason, the Chiefs defense just did not have an answer for Jalen Hurts' running game. Like I mentioned just a second ago, the Chiefs defense was getting better, but that was just the one thing they didn't have the answer for, which definitely kept the Eagles in the game for the longest time. Um, let's see. Yeah, Devontae Smith played really well, and it's like this is his second year, and he just played absolutely out of his fucking mind. Um, Right, so then Jalen Hurts runs it in, and then they convert on the two-point try, which actually gets them to tie the score. And then the Chiefs' fourth possession, they drive down the field and really just like eating out as much of the clock as possible, and then they end up winning the game with a field goal. So overall, I think this was probably one of the more exciting Super Bowls that I've ever watched. I think last year I didn't get a chance to watch the Super Bowl because I ended up getting food poisoning and I was like super fucking sick. Um, but it is what it is. So let me take a look for Super Bowl list. Let's see NFL Super Bowl list. So for the most recent ones, Kansas City, Philadelphia was just this yesterday. Before that, it was the Rams Cincinnati game. That game was 23-20. And then before that, Tampa Bay, Kansas City, where Tampa Bay absolutely put it on them. And then before that, it was Kansas City, San Francisco. Those are the most recent ones that I can remember. Obviously, the New England and the Rams game was 13-3 and whatever. Um, but um, I think out of, let's see here, for the ones that I just mentioned, I think the Kansas City Philadelphia game was the most exciting one I've ever seen. Um, with the ones that I'm just mentioning off, I mean, obviously there's some more exciting games, but like this was the most high scoring game I've seen in a very long time. I don't know if this is the most high scoring Super Bowl ever. Maybe not. Probably not. No, there was a San Francisco Denver game that was 55-10 back in 1990. Um, yeah, there's a lot of crazy games. But still, for Kansas City to win 38-35. It was an exciting game. I actually enjoyed watching it. Whereas like sometimes you don't really get a whole lot of exciting games sometimes when it comes to or like close games I should say when it comes to the Super Bowl like that. Like in 2014, Seattle beat Denver 43-8. Like that's not very exciting. That's kind of like a one-way stomp. And then, in 2021 when Tampa Bay beat Kansas City 31-9, like that's kind of like a stop too as well. So, I mean, what are you gonna do? For a game to be like this fucking close, 3 points. I mean, the year before that was a 3-point game that won on a field goal, I'm pretty sure too. So, um, these games are just getting better and better. So if you guys didn't get a chance, definitely go back and watch the highlights for the Super Bowl. I thought it was super exciting. But next we're gonna go on to the UFC that I actually stayed up and watched. I watched actually the majority of this, and I actually enjoyed it a lot. I think I came in on the preliminary card. Um, let's see here. Did I watch any of the early prelims? Yeah, I did actually watch some of the early prelims. So I came in on the early prelims at the women's strawweight fight. So the Loma Lukbunmi fight against Elise Reed. I didn't really watch the fight, but I was kind of just paying attention to it. Um, so she ended up winning in the second round via submission. The Jack Jenkins and the Don Chianis fight, that one was pretty good. Jack Jenkins, I think he's going to be a good guy to keep an eye out for in the featherweight division. He's 11-2 now, so definitely keep an eye on him. He looks pretty hard to beat. Then on to the prelim card. I'm pretty sure I watched the entirety of it. Yeah, Jamie Malarkey ends up winning by decision. That fight was pretty good. Um, Clayton Rodriguez ends up winning via KO or TKO in the first round. That was a pretty good fight. He's going to be nasty in the flyweight division. Um, this featherweight fight between Joshua Kulabayo and Melsik Bagdasaryan. That was a really good fight. So Melsik was basically winning the entire time, and then Kulabayo just kind of ended up landing a good hit on or a good shot on him, and then he kind of jumped on him and got him via submission. So this is why we don't bet on mixed martial arts because anything can happen. So make sure don't bet on mixed martial arts unless you know it's a fucking sure thing. Then we had the Modestus Bukox Bukas. I know how to pronounce his first name, Modestus. And then he fought Tyson Pedro. He ended up winning via decision, beating Tyson Pedro. It was a really good fight. I was kind of surprised I went in Modestus' favorite though. Then onto the main card, we had Justin Tafa beating Parker Porter by TKO in the first round. I'm pretty sure he knocked him out within a minute. So that was a really good fight. Justin Tafa in heavyweight, he's going to be a fucking bad motherfucker. The welterweight fight was the Jack Della Maddalena. God, these names versus Randy Brown. There was a massive height and reach discrepancy for Randy Brown. Like he was just way taller and longer, but Jack ended up just kind of fucking bringing it home. I mean, he's going to be a good guy in the welterweight division. He's got a little short, but I mean, he just fought a significantly taller fighter, so whatever. The Yair Rodriguez Josh Emmett fight, which was the co-main event, was actually really good. Yair basically was just winning that entire fight, so he was going to win in my books regardless. But he ended up winning via submission in the second round, almost at the end of the second round. I think Josh Emmett still is a really good fighter, but I think Yair Rodriguez is just that much better. So he's just the guy to beat in the featherweight division. And then in the lightweight division, we ended up having Islam Makhachev winning via decision against Alexander Volkanovski. Um, it was a really good fight. I thought it was really entertaining. I would love to see them run it back, but I think Alexander won that fight. But especially in the later rounds, I think he ended up winning that fight in the last two rounds. But I don't know what the judges were looking at, so I don't know. Go back, watch the highlights of that fight, and let me know what you guys think. But I think Alexander ended up winning that fight just based off of aggression, and then again with the last two rounds, just aggression, octagon control, and then takedowns, and just kind of um, and then like he just kind of had a lot of ground and pound. But I don't know. He lost. I mean, I'd love to see him run it back, but it's definitely worth staying up for that card. I was ended up staying super late for it, so that's why I'm kind of, I've been tired this whole weekend because of that, and I'm tired today. But I mean, it's worth it sometimes. That's why I took Monday off because I knew I was gonna be tired. So, and of course I wanted to watch the Super Bowl. But yeah, so UFC 284 was worth it to watch. Definitely go back and watch some of the highlights of that fight. It was actually really good. And let me know what you guys thought of it and which if you had a favorite fight from the card. I think my favorite fight on the card, besides the main event, obviously, because you can't just include that, would probably be yeah, probably the co-main, the Yair Rodriguez fight. He's a bad man, so definitely watch out for him. Next UFC card is a UFC Fight Night on this weekend, February 14th. It is a women's flyweight main event with Jessica Andrade and Erin Blanchfield. Um, I might watch this. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. There's some cool fights on the card. You got William Knight against Marcin something. I can't pronounce his name. It was supposed to be Corey Sandhagen and Marlon Chito Vera. That one fell off. I don't know what happened there. Someone got hurt or I don't know what happened. Um, I don't know. We'll fucking see. Um, Josh Parisian's on the card. He's pretty excited to watch. Jordan Wright's on the card. But yeah, I don't know. Is now that it's not Corey Sandhagen and Marlon Vera, I kind of just don't care. But I might watch it just because the main card starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so I might just watch it just to do it. Alexander Hernandez is on the prelim card, so that's pretty good. He's an exciting fighter to watch. I like him. Other than that, yeah, not a really stacked card. Other than that, but hmm, oh well. Yeah, it kind of sucks. I don't know if people getting hurt or whatever, but yeah, the Corey Sandhagen, Marlon Vera fight is going to be a banger. Hopefully they um, reschedule that. And then after that, it's going to be another fight night with Nikita Krylov and Ryan Spann. Um, Looking at the card now, nothing really super exciting. So, I mean, that one starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time too, so maybe I'll watch that as well. But um, that's whatever. But it all leads up to the big main event of UFC 285. It's crazy that we're getting something like this so early in the year, but that just means that 2023 is going to be a good year for UFC. So the main card. Obviously, main event is John Jones, Cyril Gane. It's going to be a banger. Unfortunately, it starts at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so I'm going to have to try and stay up late again to watch this one, but it's going to be dope. The co-main is going to be Valentina Shevchenko against Alexa Grasso. I don't see Valentina losing. Where is this? It's going to be the T-Mobile Arena. That is in. It's in Vegas. Okay, interesting. Why is it so late then? Whatever. Um, so that's cool. So let's see here. I think between John Jones, Cyril Gane, John Jones wins just because he's the best fighter pound for pound. But who knows? I could see him also losing just because he hadn't fought in like 2 years or something like that. So um, I don't know. Keep an eye out for it. But the Valentina Shevchenko, Alexa Grasso fight will be good. Jeff Neal's fighting a dude named Shavkat Rakhmonov. I don't know how that one goes. And then there's Bo Nickel against Jamie Pickett. That should be a really good fight as well. So keep an eye out for that. On the prelim card, Derek Brunson's fighting. That'll be a good fight. Let's see for the early prelims, anything good? Uh, no, I don't really see anything interesting on the prelims fight, but that one would be good. Um, Keep an eye out for that. But some really big cards coming up, some cool stuff announced. Of course, UFC 286 with Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman. That's in March 18th, almost a month from now, and that card starts at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's at the O2, so that's going to be in Britain. That's gonna be a really dope fight. Justin Gaethje on the card. Hopefully, everyone stays healthy for this because a lot of that stuff happens. People get hurt and all this shit. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. Oh yeah, the Marlon Vera Corey Sandhagen did get rescheduled. Looks like for March 25th. That'll be cool. It's gonna be the AT&T Center. Where the fuck is that? Oh, it's in Texas. That's cool too. Nice. All right then. Um, Anybody cool on that card as well? Not seeing a whole lot of the card, but yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming up for UFC wise. So keep an eye on that, guys. UFC this year is going to be massive, going to be huge. Um, and there's just so many cool things showing up. Like, UFC 287, you got Israel Adesanya, Alex Pereira rematch. That's gonna be dope. Where is that going down? At FTX Arena? Where the fuck? And it's Miami. I'm surprised it's still called FTX Arena. Maybe they just never changed the name. But whatever. All right, that's it for the UFC. So next we are going to go on to the NHL really quickly. Unfortunately, last game the Bruins lost. They just played on Saturday against the Capitals. They ended up losing 2-1. They had some good scoring chances, but the Capitals are just kind of all over them. The Bruins coming off like a massive break after the All-Star game, All-Star weekend stuff, but Bruins had a decent amount of shots on goal. They just couldn't get it together. And I did not know that the Capitals ended up picking up Darcy Kemper. So it's kind of um, obviously good for them. I don't even know how long they've had him for. That just goes to show how much I pay attention to the Capitals. But um, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Bruins just need to get back into the swing of things. They are playing Dallas Stars in Dallas tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Going to be a tough game. Then after that, they are going to Nashville to play the Predators on February 16th. So they got a long road ahead of them. I think they are still currently in the standings. They are top of the Atlantic Division. They are 6-3-1 in their last 10. Not terrible, but definitely not great. Need to get back into the swing. They're still significantly ahead in the division. They've got 83 points, and the Maple Leafs are behind them at 72 points, so they're good to go. It's just like I just don't want to see them losing and dropping a lot of games. But standings check in really quickly. It for the Atlantic Division, it's Bruins, Maple Leafs, Thunder within the top three. Or sorry, Lightning within the top three. The Metro Division, it's Hurricanes, Devils, and Rangers in the top three. So that's kind of a pretty competitive Metro Division there. You'd like to see that. The Western Conference in the Central Division, top three is Stars, Jets, and Avalanche. Um, the Stars and Jets are well within the lead. They've got a pretty big point differential. And then for the Pacific Division, it's going to be Vegas, Seattle, and Edmonton. Those are all really close, so those can all shift. So for the 1, 2, 3, 4. With 2 through 4, all of them have 65 points. So at any time, they could all just switch in there. So that's going to be really competitive. Um, so we'll see what happened there. But yeah, that's going to be real quick NHL breakdown there really quickly. And then we're going to go into the NBA really quick, see if there's any cool games. Celtics just beat the Grizzlies 119-109. I ended up watching the entirety of that game. It was actually pretty good, but it just like the first half, the Celtics were just not there. The scoring was not there. The defense was not there, but they ended up picking it up within the second half. But they really kind of took it away in the fourth quarter. Uh, so outscoring 37-28 in the fourth quarter. But yeah, they went into the half down. So. Or did they? No, they didn't. Um, whatever, whatever. But yeah, so it was a more competitive game than it needed to be. Definitely, the Celtics are hurting for some of their players. Um, Marcus Smart, Jalen Brown. Definitely sucks that they're not playing. So They just need to get healed up and then come back into the game. Any other cool games that just happened? We got a lot of games tonight. Um, Holy fucking moly. How many? 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 games tonight I'll go into in just a second. I just want to take a look back at any of the cool games. Lakers beat the Warriors 109 to 103 back on Saturday. Kings actually ended up beating the Mavericks in OT on Saturday as well. Knicks beat the Jazz 126 to 120 on Saturday. Um, Oh yeah, the 76ers actually ended up beating the Nets 101 to 98. I watched the majority of that game as well. It was pretty good. Um, but obviously the Nets are just not the same team now that they don't have Kyrie Irving, and of course Kevin Durant's leaving too. So uh, now it's just who's on the fucking team with the Nets now. I have no idea. I can't. I'm looking at the roster right now, and the only person I recognize is Ben Simmons, and that's it. Everyone else, I have no idea who they are. Um, So yeah, kind of tough for the Nets. I mean, they just kind of sold everybody. I guess they just had to blow up the roster again, but whatever. So again, we're looking at the schedule for today. Big fucking schedule. Um, the Celtics are not playing, but some really good games. So games to look forward to tonight would be Nets Knicks. That's going to be a good game. Nuggets Heat is a good game as well. Um, and then Timberwolves Mavericks is a game to look out for, just to see what happens there. And then Lakers Trailblazers should be a good game too. So some cool games coming up, but um, none of the teams I really care about, but I think they'll just be good matchups. And then Celtics don't play again until tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They are playing against the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm expecting the Celtics to lose that game because one, their whole roster isn't healthy, and two, Milwaukee is on a tear recently. So quick look at the standings. Yeah, Milwaukee Bucks, they're still technically second in the Eastern Conference, but they are on a 10-game winning streak. Celtics are on a 4-game win streak, but the Milwaukee Bucks are absolutely charging forward, looking like the best team in the Eastern Conference off of play, but not off of record. So they just need a little time to cook, and then here they are. So top three in the Eastern Conference is Celtics, Bucks, 76ers. That is going to be very tough to get through. It's going to be a very tough Eastern Conference this year when it comes to playoffs. So because you got the Celtics, the Bucks, the Sixers, the Cavs, the Nets are probably going to drop off, but they got the Heat right there too. So it's going to be pretty tough. I mean, obviously the Bucks are going to be the biggest struggle for the Celtics, but the 76ers are going to be hard to beat as well. So we'll see. Playoffs this year should be really exciting, but um, we'll see if the Celtics can go all the way again. Western Conference, we've got the Nuggets, Grizzlies, and Sacramento Kings. Right behind them is Mavs and Suns. Pretty interesting that the Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant both go to a Western Conference team. They were fifth place in the Eastern Conference on the Nets, and the Mavs are fourth in the West, and the Suns are fifth in the West. So I think these teams are definitely going to probably end up being in the top three. So if you had to ask me right now, I would say top three in the West in no specific order is probably going to be Nuggets, Mavericks, Suns, just because I think the Grizzlies and the Sacramento Kings don't have enough star power to actually um, pull it off, like and just like kind of beat them. Like I'm looking at um, Sacramento Kings roster, and I can't recognize an actual star. So I think it's going to be tough, especially with a team like the Mavericks. Now they have two superstars, and then a team like the Phoenix Suns. Now that they've got Kevin Durant, and then who else is on the roster? They got Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Chris Paul. They got who else? Bismack Biombo. Huh. But yeah, no, so they have like three superstars with Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and Kevin Durant. So obviously they're going to be um, a force to be reckoned with. But yeah, back to the Celtics. So their next upcoming games are going to be pretty tough. They're going to play the Bucks, then they're playing the Pistons, which shouldn't be hard. The Pacers shouldn't be hard. Then they got to play the 76ers, the Nets, and then the Cavs. sorry, the Knicks than the Cavs. So that is going to be tough. Two of those games are guaranteed wins, but it's going to be tough. I think this Bucks game is um, really going to test the Celtics, especially with two of our best players out. So we will see what happens. Whoops. Sorry, the recording cut out here, but I'm basically done with that point anyway. So that Bucks game is really going to test the Celtics bench to see if they have the ability to be um, step up players instead of just being role players. Obviously, you still have Jason Tatum, Al Horford, Brogdon, all that shit, but now we need more game changers instead of facilitators. So it's really testing the ability of the bench here. So I don't know, we'll see. But that is going to be it for the NBA. Um, let's get into Premier League next. Watched a couple Premier League games yesterday. They were pretty good. They ended up both being Manchester games. I watched the Man United Leeds United game. Man U ended up winning 2-0. They kind of just crapped all over them. It was a good game though. Definitely go back and watch the highlights. Then I watched Man City against Aston Villa. Ended up 3-1. I mean, they just shit all over them too. I mean, just significantly better teams. In terms of standings, yeah, Man City is second, Aston Villa is 11, so it kind of makes sense. And then for the Man U game, Man U is third, and what is it? Man U is third, and Leeds United 17th. They're just almost in that relegation, so it should end like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's still good games, still exciting games. And then there's one going on right now, which is Liverpool versus Everton. Liverpool is up 1-0. Let me look at the standings. Liverpool is ninth. Everton is 18th. So kind of makes sense. It's at the half too as well. Kind of makes sense that Liverpool will be winning, but there's a reason I'm not watching that game because both of them are pretty low teams. There's also a Arsenal Man City game coming up this Wednesday. That's gonna be dope. I'm gonna try and watch that. That's gonna be a big decider in terms of standings because Arsenal's one, Man City is two. Um, Arsenal only has one win over Man City, so um, Arsenal's 16 wins, Man City's 15 wins. If Man City wins this game, that is going to be massive for them. But any other cool games coming up? Maybe this week or this weekend? Da, 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 dum. No, I don't really see any really cool matchups. Really. Um, what else? Yeah, no really like super cool matchups, but I'm probably gonna try and catch on some of those games because Tottenham's playing. Arsenal is playing, Chelsea's playing. Um, what else do we have? Man U is playing as well, so um, catch up on those games this week. And then I wanted to take a look really quickly at the UEFA Champions League. That is starting up tomorrow. That's going to be a banger. I'm excited to watch this. So one of the big games, it's got PSG versus Bayern Munich. I think Bayern Munich's going to absolutely dump on these guys. I'm still kind of trying to figure out how the Champions League of UEFA works. But it's pretty exciting. I get to see some cool matchups. So I'm gonna try and see if I can watch some of these games. Um, they're all on Paramount Plus, of course. So I guess I'll probably just try and stream them legally. But whatever. Tottenham's playing Milan. That'll be a cool game. Is that on anything? It's on Paramount Plus, of course. They make you want to pay for all these fucking subscriptions. Dortmund's playing Chelsea. That's a cool game. Liverpool against Real Madrid. So just some cool matchups. This is why you kind of like seeing this international play. Um, just cool to see. But yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on this and then see what happens. So as of right now, Group A, not that exciting. Group B, I don't recognize any of the teams. Group C's got Bayern Munich in it, and then Barcelona as well. Group D, Tottenham's actually topping the group. With other people that I don't recognize. Group E, Chelsea is topping the group. Group F, Real Madrid is topping the group. Group G, that one's Man City, Dortmund. Man City's at the top. Group H, PSG's in second place. Some of these names I recognize, but some of them I don't. But it should be cool. I'm going to try and keep current on that and just keep an eye on what is going on in those games, just because I'm trying to get into soccer and I think all this international play is really cool. So, um, you know, keep an eye on it. And of course, like PSG's got Mbappe, Lionel Messi, Neymar. So they're just absolutely fucking stacked. Like, oh my god, dude, come on, so unfair. But what else do we have? Any other cool? Ba, da, ba. Um, yeah, that's about it for now. But yeah, that is going to be it for the European football. So next we're going to go into the League of Legends section, which I know everybody loves. So we're going to be talking LEC. Last time I put out a um, oh sorry, I got an itchy shoulder. Last time I put out an episode was back last Monday for the 6th. Um, so I'm pretty sure I talked about those games, but it was a Weibo win and a JDG win. Tuesday was nothing super interesting. I know there's a banger in here somewhere. Wednesday, nothing interesting. Oh yeah, so the JDG RNG game was actually a banger. JDG ended up winning 2-0. RNG just not looking that good, and I mean they're having roster issues and stuff like that, so I get it. But RNG is still going to be my top 10. Then Friday, nothing really that interesting. Saturday was a super good game. Was Weibo Gaming versus JDG. Weibo ended up winning 2-1. I tried to watch as much of that as possible, but I don't think I woke up early enough to watch the whole thing. But I might go back and watch the highlights of it. But two really good teams right there. So if you guys get a chance to take a look at the highlights, I'm sure it was exciting. Then Sunday, RNG got a win over WE, good for them. EDG ended up being Billy Gaming, definitely needed a win, so that's good. And then today were two games I don't care about. So before I go into the standings, I'm going to be looking forward for some more games that are going to actually be entertaining. Tuesday, no really close matches. Wednesday, you got JDG, EDG. I think JDG obviously wins that game, but I'll probably be watching some of that. Thursday, no close matches. Friday, no close matches. Saturday is usually when they have the bangers. IG, JDG should be a good game. Then Weibo Gaming, Ultra Prime should be a good game as well. Unfortunately, the IG JDG game is at 2 in the morning, so I'm not going to be watching that. Sunday, EDG Top Esports, that's going to be a good game at 6 a.m. I'll probably watch that on Sunday or try to. Should be a banger. And that's about it. It brings us back to another Monday. I'll go over that when the time comes, but some cool matches to look out for there. But let me go into the standings really quickly for late spring season. It is currently it's going to be IG who are 5-1, JDG 4-1, LNG 4-1, Top Esports 4-1, EDG 4-1. So that's going to be the top 5 right there, and then it's all kind of close from there. But this is just the beginning of the split, so we will see a lot more cool games coming up here. So keep an eye out for that. If I had to give a top 5 right now, I would say what it's going to be at the end of the split would probably be JDG, Top Esports, Weibo Gaming, um, LNG, and then I kind of want to throw RNG in there as well, but they're not looking as good. So I put um, JD Gaming, JDG, then LNG, Top Esports, Weibo, mm, and then I don't know who I want to put in there. I'm just gonna say EDG for now, just because they're looking better. So I'm gonna say that for now. But I wouldn't be surprised if when RNG gets their whole roster together, they are top 5. So we'll see how it goes. Because I don't think IG is going to stay at the top like that. I think they just played a lot of bad teams, and then they're gonna start playing these top tier teams, and it um, should be hard for them to make playoffs. But I mean, the playoffs are gonna be dope this year, so we'll keep an eye out for that. But um, yeah, I think that's gonna be about it for the LPL. Just looking really quickly at some of the rosters. Um, yeah, okay. But yeah, that's it for the LPL. Gonna go quickly through the LCK to see if there's anything interesting here as well. Um, so Monday was the last time I put out a episode. So they had games on Wednesday, February 8th. Nothing exciting. Thursday, KT Rolster ended up being Damwon 2-1. Looks like the first game Damwon absolutely crapped all over them. Game two, oops, let me look at the rosters. Anything cool in terms of team comps? No, not really. Game two, KT kind of dumped all over them. KT kind of had a cool roster with, sorry, cool team comp with BDD on Yon. Um, Showmaker ended up playing Silas, one of his best characters, champions, but didn't work out. And then game three, KT ended up stomping them again, which is pretty interesting. And they played the Yon again. Huh, interesting. But maybe I'll go back and watch that. Friday, any good games? Soundbox ended up being DRX, interesting. Han One Life 1. Saturday, KT ended up beating Genji, interesting. Um, kind of surprising there. Huh. I guess KT is just really kind of getting better. I mean, I don't think KT's team is bad, but I just don't think it's that good. Because I mean, look at Genji. You got Chovy, Peanut, Doran. Like, it's way better players, but sometimes better players don't make a better team. Sunday, T1 ended up beating DRX 2-0. Game one was actually relatively close. Nothing really cool here for team comps. Zeus is on the Fiora. Um, that's pretty cool. He ended up being 5-1 and 2, so he probably popped off. Um, game two, a little bit more of a stomp. Oh, owner played in Italy. Interesting. 4-0 and 7. Had a good game on that. Da, 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 da. Nothing else there. Dalmakia ended up 2-0ing Hanwha Life. Interesting. First game was an absolute shit stomp. Bu-bu-bum. Showmaker on the Azir. Game two, a little bit closer. Nothing super crazy there in terms of team comps. And Wednesday, what do we have for Wednesday games? Okay, so this next upcoming games are going to be Wednesday, February 15th. KT Rolster DRX. That should be a close game, so keep an eye on that. Any other cool games? What about Thursday? Thursday. It's not loading. No really cool games then. Friday, Hanwha Life DRX. That should be a good game as well. But yeah, that's gonna be LCK for the Korean scene. I just want to look at that really quickly. But then we're gonna look at the LEC. So they just started their playoff berth thing, their playoff section. I don't know what you want to call that, but for the winter split, because they're doing 3 splits this year. I don't know. They're changing everything around. It's all kind of weird. So Saturday on the 11th, they started their best of three round where Koi ended up 2-0ing SK Gaming. That was pretty obvious. Vitality ended up beating Heretics 2-1. Also pretty obvious. I mean, it just kind of it is what it is. Those are what you expect. Um, there's nothing super crazy there. Sunday, which was yesterday, G2 beat Team BDS 2-1, and Mad Lions beat Astralis 2-1. Kind of basically how you would expect it to go. But nothing crazy there. But today were actually some pretty good games. G2 ended up beating Mad Lions 2-0. Did not expect that to happen. Game one, absolute stomp. G2 beats Mad Lions 21 kills to 5 kills. Hansama on the Draven. He played it in both games. Yike on the Lilia. Kind of interesting. Game two was 20 kills to 15 kills, a little bit closer. Hansama on Draven again. But I guess just is what it is. And then Koi ended up beating Vitality 2-0. That was not expected. I thought Vitality was going to absolutely shit all over them, but um, I guess it wasn't the case. Luckily, it is a two. Um, two-tiered or whatever you want to call that. Double elimination is what it's called. So luckily, Mad Lions and Vitality are not completely out, but they do end up having to play each other to um, get to the next stage. So then, what else is going on? All right, so the next match is coming up our Saturday, so it's going to be basically the losers bracket portion. So Team Heretics is going to play against SK. I would expect Heretics to win that game just based off of who's on the rosters. And then Astralis versus BDS. I don't really know about that game because it's probably going to be pretty close. I'm going to go BDS here, but we shall see. Looking really quickly at how the seeding and the grouping works. Let's see here for the winter groups. So now Koi automatically gets entered into the playoff portion of one of the four teams to be in playoffs, and then G2 also one of the teams in playoffs. So, um, so for the group stage portion, all right. So basically, it's like two wins and you're in. So Vitality ended up winning their first round and then losing the second round. So if they win their next game, they technically have a chance to make it in. So they're going to be playing the winner of the Heretics and SK game. So they should definitely beat whoever they come up against, regardless. So I'm just going to go ahead and assume Vitality is going to make it, and then Mad Lions will make it in if they beat the winner of the Astralis BDS game. I think they're Mad Lions are significantly better than both of those rosters, so they should be fine regardless. Um, so we'll see what happens. I mean, my guess for the top four is going to be G2, Mad Lions, Koi, and Vitality. I don't know how that's going to play out and who wins, but I do believe for the winter playoffs, the first match we're going to see is going to be Koi against G2, and the winner of that game automatically goes to the finals, and then the loser of that game goes to the losers bracket to play in a double elim series. So again, this is another double elim tournament, basically, except for the lower half of it. It's kind of confusing, but it's pretty interesting. You just get to see more games. So they're going to be best of fives instead of best of threes. So it's going to be really cool. So it looks like the 20th is going to be when Koi and G2 play. That's going to be dope. So keep an eye out for that. And then we are going to go into the LCS really quickly. Let's see. Last time I put out something. Okay, so then they had played Thursday, February 9th. The Immortals Dignitas game, Junk didn't want to watch it. Golden Guardian CLG didn't want to watch it. 100 Thieves ended up beating Team Liquid 22-8, kind of shit all over them. Bjergsen on the Talia. Double Lift ended up popping off 14-0 on the Caitlyn. Kind of an unexpected scoreline. I thought it'd be a little bit closer than that. FlyQuest looking at the best team in the region, beating EG 19-10. The Moo Jungle comes out. The Aurelia Mid comes out. Pretty interesting composition here. What else do we have? Cloud9 ended up being TSM. That was pretty obvious. Anything interesting on the Cloud9 side? Oh, yeah, they ended up doing Galio Nocturne, which was pretty interesting. You don't really see a whole lot of that, but that's like one thing Cloud9 is good at, is just playing these different comps that most people are not comfortable playing against. Mm. And then on February 10th, which was a Friday, Golden Guardians Immortals game, don't care about. Team Liquid ended up beating Team Dignitas. Dignitas is just bad. They're gonna have to blow up that whole roster. Nothing crazy in terms of team comps there. EG ended up beating Cloud9 10-4. That's kind of crazy. The rosters were pretty, or sorry, the team comps are pretty standard here. Just like EG had a better comp and just played better. TSM beat CLG. CLG looking really bad. TSM finally getting a win here somehow, and then FlyQuest ended up crapping on 100 Thieves being 25 kills to 11. Nothing crazy in terms of team comps. Prince played Kaisa. He went 11-1-9, obviously looking like the best player in the region. That's what happens when you spend the money and get those Korean imports. They just look absolutely out of control. Next games coming up are going to be Wednesday on the 15th. You got EG 100 Thieves starting the day off. That's going to be a dope game. Another cool game. All the other games are kind of stops. So the only cool game of the Wednesday is going to be the EG 100 Thieves game. Every other game should go expected in terms of the favorites. Thursday, you got Team Liquid EG. That's going to be a dope game. And then again, another situation where it's going to be all favorites, pretty heavy. Then we have Friday the 17th. CLG FlyQuest to start the day. It's not going to be good. There's a Team Liquid Cloud9 game. That's going to be dope. So keep an eye out for that. But basically, it's just kind of very top heavy in the LCS. Looking at it quickly, let me take a look at the standings. I'll give you guys what I think is going to be the playoffs teams here. Da, da, da. Okay, so it's top 6 teams qualify for playoffs. The top 4 teams start in the upper bracket, and the 5th and 6th seed start in the lower bracket. There's only 10 teams. So right now the standings are FlyQuest 6-0, 100 Thieves 4-2, Cloud9 4-2, EG 4-2, Team Liquid 3-3, and TSM 3-3. I would say those are probably going to be the playoffs teams. I'm not going to say specifically in that order. I think FlyQuest finishes the season in first, then Cloud9, and then it's going to be a toss-up between 100 Thieves and Evil Geniuses. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, the bottom half of the LCS just looks really fucking bad. Because TSM doesn't look really good, Team Liquid doesn't look really good. So the top 4 on LCS look pretty top heavy. So I could see any of these teams replacing each other. 100 Thieves maybe a little bit less. So I'd say S tier is definitely FlyQuest. A tier would probably be Cloud9 EG, and then B tier is probably like 100 Thieves Team Liquid. So that's how I see it anyway. So those are gonna be my top teams at least for now. But that's it for the LCS. I don't really get to watch a whole lot of it just because all the games end up being like at a time when I'm not actually um, willing to watch them. Like, let me take a look here. I didn't even really look at the times. So next games are on Wednesday. Yeah, they start at like 5 p.m. It's like, dude, I'm not gonna stay up until 7 o'clock at night to watch CLG Team Liquid. Like, that's a waste of my time. So I am not going to do that. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the LCS. It's just probably not gonna be exciting until the playoffs start. So, whatever. But that's going to be it for the League of Legends portion here anyway. Um, I did also want to just go over anime and manga really quickly. So, for anime at least, I've been keeping up pretty consistent. I'll probably be watching some stuff after this while I am editing this up and uploading. Something just banged my house. The Misfit Demon Academy, not very good. I give that a 5 out of 10. The new season of Tokyo Revengers is pretty good. It's just getting started. I think there's a new episode out. It came out today or the other day, so I'm going to be watching that. I have not been keeping up with the Nier Automata series, so that's my fault. I'll probably go back and watch that at some point. I've just been kind of grinding down some of the easier to watch stuff. The season of Don Machi is pretty good as well, so I'm keeping up with that as much as possible. It's still kind of slow. Still haven't watched Trigun Stampede yet. That's my fault. The Adventurers Who Don't Believe in Humanity is all right. I'd probably give it like a 6. Um, let's see, Reincarnation of the Strongest Exorcist is all right. I mean, again, some of these series again never should have gotten anime adaptations, but whatever. The Campfire Cooking is all right. The animation looks really good. I mean, it's done by Studio Mappa, so it makes sense. Farming Life in Another World is, it's whatever. It's just easy to watch. I'd say that's like a 5. The Ice Blade Sorcerer, whatever. That one's not very good compared to the manga, at least. So that one's probably like a 4 out of 10. Saito-san, actually, so Handyman Saito in Another World, that one's actually really good. I would give that like a 7, maybe even an 8. We'll see how it ends. Chill in My 30s, it's like 5. Fruit of Evolution season 2, that one's 5 for now. We'll see how it ends. Um, I think that's about it in terms of what I am watching. Just trying to keep current on it, but nothing super crazy. Um, Someone yelling? Hold on a second. Nah, whatever. All right. Yeah. So just try to keep it current on that. And in terms of manga, I haven't really found anything like super exciting that I've been reading recently. Let me see if I can find anything interesting here. Not really. I think I found something the other day that was actually kind of good. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. See if I can give you guys a quick recommendation. But um, I probably should have had this pulled up. But whatever. Da, 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 da. Let me see. Da, 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 da. I just almost put the mic right in my friggin' mouth. Where is this? I feel like I was reading something. So I guess if I can't find it within the next couple seconds, I'll just give the recommendation of reading the manga for the Ice Blade Magician. That was actually pretty good, so I'd give that a recommendation of it's having more like actual character development and like it's got more comedy than the anime itself. So I'll give that a recommendation. I'm gonna say that is probably um I'll give that, yeah, like a recommendation of it's probably like 7.5. No, okay, maybe not a 7.5. I'll give it a 6.5. 6.5. I did recently catch up on some of the One Punch Man manga, and that's really fucking good. So if you guys haven't checked that out, definitely check that out. I already recommended the drawing manga artist. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't really see anything else here. Maybe this, if I remember what this is. Mm, No, maybe not. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for the podcast here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, this is the Backed by Bone podcast. As always, I'm your host, Chris, aka Don Burgundy, on the internet. All of my links down in the description below. Please like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate all of it. Thank you so much, guys. Happy Valentine's Day. It is tomorrow. Tell some people you love them. Everybody deserves to be loved. So enjoy that shit. Happy Valentine's Day. Try not to spend too much money. Try not to eat too much chocolate. And have a good one, guys. I got some shit I need to do. I need to edit this. Probably I have some videos to edit as well. Probably not gonna get that tonight. Probably have to do that this coming week. So I don't know. We got some shit backlogged, but being busy is good. So thank you guys again so much. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I am out. Peace.